When news first hit that Remy Ma and Papoose had officially split, most people didn't even blink. It just seemed like another Hollywood love story falling apart. But behind that calm surface, Remy had been holding it down for years, protecting Papoose's image while rumors of cheating, money problems, and tension quietly brewed in the background. Fans once crowned them the royal couple of hip-hop, praising their bond as the blueprint for black love. They cheered for that loyalty without realizing what was really going down behind closed doors. Now, with fresh receipts popping up online, everything looks totally different. People can't stop asking, what was hidden, what caused the switch up, and why did the truth stay buried for so long? Remy and Papoose sold everyone the dream of a perfect ride or die love story, but cracks are showing now.
You the dumbest broad of the year. You the messiest bitch of the year. I'm gonna start giving out motherfucking awards my damn self and mailing them to you bitches. I'm gonna make a fucking award that say Own Papoose Dick Award and send it to the bitch who be on his dick the most. I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. And unlike some of y'all,
Remy Ma has always been that fearless Bronx queen, tough, confident, and authentic with real street power. But lately, Claressa Shields has been stepping into that same lane, showing off major, look at me, energy, almost like she's trying to channel Remy's whole vibe. Meanwhile, Papoose has his own representative locked in, an underground lyricist with discipline, sharp bars, and a quiet but commanding presence. Remy always needed a partner who could truly stand beside her, someone who'd lift her up, not try to outshine her. For a long time, Papoose played that role flawlessly, building the image of a loyal husband who supported his queen instead of competing with her. That carefully crafted persona shaped how the world saw them for years. But the truth is, it didn't begin after they tied the knot. It started way back when Remy was behind bars. Back in 2007, Remy got caught up in a violent altercation with a friend outside a Manhattan nightclub over money, a moment that ended with her serving 8 years in prison.
She said, I hear the garbage truck. Did you take out the garbage? She gonna kill me, I forgot. I gotta be honest, now I'm running outside with the garbage in my arms. Open the door, but I forgot to cut off the alarm. The queen mad at me, I'm disgraced. She said those raccoons gonna have that garbage all over the place. We had a bad morning, but the love remained strong. Black love forever, I would never move on.
While she was locked up, Papoose became a fixture, pulling up almost every day, standing by her side when everyone else disappeared. Fans went wild over that loyalty, praising him like he was the definition of devotion. So when Remy finally walked free, the world saw them as unstoppable. They hit every major interview, every media outlet, pushing the image of a solid power couple, with Papoose's faithfulness always front and center. But when the drama with Claressa suddenly popped off, people were floored. From the outside, it looked like Remy had thrown away the perfect love story. But that fairy tale only worked because no one dared to look deeper.
Ernest Johnson returns the pictures.
Still together just the night before all this blew up, the internet went crazy. That little detail flipped everything on its head. It showed that a lot of Remy's later statements weren't random or emotional. They were reactions to chaos that had already been building behind the scenes. Claressa stepping into a bond that had been growing for decades, while her own situation was still brand new, was bound to crash eventually. From a strategic angle, the connection between Claressa Shields and Papoose was doomed before it even started. The vibe was off from day one. You could feel it, and when it finally fell apart, nobody who was really paying attention was surprised.
my son lived with his father for a year or two while I was away, and with my mother, who the entire time I was sending the money from jail.
Once you start lining up the timeline, the people involved, and who was actually around when everything went down, it starts to click. What first looked like total confusion slowly formed into a clear picture, one that exposed just how deep the mess really ran. Then came the real explosion. Rumors spread that Papoose had allegedly knocked out Easy the Block captain over whispers about him and Remy Ma having an affair. Whether it was proven or not didn't even matter. The internet lost its mind. Social media was on fire. Overnight, Remy got painted as the villain of the story, accused of betraying the loyal husband fans had worshipped for years. People couldn't believe it. This was the couple everyone thought was unbreakable. That one-sided story took over for a while, until Remy finally started clapping back. Remy finally got tired of carrying a story that was missing way too many pieces. Here's the twist. She was one of the main people who helped build that perfect husband image for Papoose in the first place. For years, she had his back, protecting his brand, hiding his flaws, and keeping anything messy far away from the public eye. But when the tables flipped, suddenly she was the villain, and that didn't happen by chance.
You're jealous of Claressa Shields. Just say that. You're jealous. You wonder why it's not you. Well, how come it's not me that got the house? Why is not me with Papoose? Why is not me?
Remy helped create that picture-perfect narrative right beside him, and that kind of powerful branding always comes with consequences. When the mask starts to crack, most people can't handle seeing the full truth. That doesn't make Remy the bad one, it just explains why the backlash hit her so hard. Once things blew up online and Remy began dropping her own receipts, everything spiraled even faster. The chaos wasn't just about some rumored affair, it exposed layers of hidden drama that had been tucked away for years. One set of messages showed Claressa reaching out to Remy for advice, asking how to dress, how to do her hair, and how to carry herself like a woman in the spotlight. Then another batch surfaced showing Papoose practically begging for attention, wanting flowers, phone calls, affection, and to be chosen. That emotional collision between these two sides hit like a bombshell and left everyone stunned. When Fat Joe confirmed that Papoose was actually with Remy the night before everything went off, the timeline snapped into focus, no more guessing. That revelation made Claressa's behavior start to make sense. Her insecurity, the constant need for attention, the desperate moves just to be noticed. Up until then, everyone was still hooked on that headline that painted Remy as the woman who destroyed black love, a story people believed without ever questioning what really went down. But then came the twist, Claressa stepping into the spotlight and allegedly hopping in a group chat to take shots at a married woman. That flipped the narrative upside down, and fans were shocked. And just when the internet thought it couldn't get messier, Easy the Block captain started talking reckless online, right as whispers spread about a supposed altercation between him and Papoose. What started as gossip suddenly turned into a full-blown collision of ego, insecurity, and years of unresolved drama finally spilling over. Claressa Shields ended up right in the middle of one of the wildest public relationship meltdowns in recent hip-hop memory. But if you look deeper, it's clear this wasn't just about love, it was about pride, image, and the fallout that comes when private tension finally explodes in front of the whole world. At the heart of it all, this wasn't just about romance, it was about emotions spinning out of control. Claressa had a lot bubbling underneath the surface, validation clashing with belonging, power colliding with proximity, ego battling against security. Those kinds of mismatched energies can turn any relationship into pure chaos. Strip away all the noise, and the picture becomes crystal clear. Then Remy dropped the bomb that changed everything. She revealed she had actually been the one holding it all down financially throughout the marriage, even while she was behind bars.
Get back to work. That's why I only visited her every day for a year straight. But after that, I had the space to visit out to like 3 times a week. Never missed a Christmas, never missed a Mother's Day, never missed a single holiday.
That confession shattered the perfect fairy tale everyone believed in. Finding out that their entire image, the lifestyle, the stability, the ride or die couple vibe, was all being funded by her hit the internet like lightning. Suddenly, all that devotion people praised started to look more like dependence, and those supposed sacrifices? Maybe they were just survival moves. Timing, as always, was everything. Right after Remy kicked Papoose out and put the truth in the spotlight, he quickly drifted toward Claressa, a woman with her own bag and her own power. That move didn't confirm anything outright, but it sure made people raise their eyebrows. When security fades in one relationship and suddenly reappears in another, it makes everyone wonder, was this real love, or just opportunity wearing the mask of affection? Suddenly, this whole story stops being about simple heartbreak and starts peeling back the layers of something way deeper, a real power game built on money, access, and survival. What once looked like a breakup now feels like the unmasking of a system that both of them helped create. When you look close, it's not just love that broke, it's the balance of power that crumbled right in front of everyone's eyes. Then came the money talk, and that's where things got real. Back in 2006, Papoose proudly claimed he signed a $1.5 million deal with Jive Records. For nearly 20 years, he's held onto that title, the $1.5 million man. But here's the catch, he's still talking about that same advance decades later. According to his own words, he took the bag and walked away from the deal before ever finishing it. Fans started whispering that maybe he never planned to complete it in the first place, choosing cash over creativity, survival over substance. Now, mix that with Remy's shocking claim that she was the real financial backbone all along, and the picture gets even clearer. That whole public image of Papoose as the loyal husband supporting his wife and kids while managing her funds starts to look less like love and more like control.
Anybody crashing out, I'm checking them. Let them know. Don't come mess with me, I won't mess with you. They're gonna take these videos and put them everywhere.
Having power of attorney over her money while presenting himself as the provider? That's not partnership. That's a power move wrapped in loyalty. The hero husband story begins to crumble when both Remy and Papoose admitted they'd each cheated at different points. Multiple people got tangled in their mess, turning their marriage into something far from perfect. This isn't a tale of saints and sinners, it's about choices, control, and accountability colliding under pressure. Any woman would be furious, coming home to a man who spent her money, betrayed her trust, and still had access to her world. But the craziest part? It wasn't a loveless marriage. They had real intimacy, conjugal visits, and endless chances to make it right. They just couldn't keep their foundation from cracking under the weight of their secrets. The connection between Remy and Papoose was real, nobody can deny that. The love, the loyalty, the history, it all existed. But so did the chance to make better choices, and he simply didn't take it. That's where Claressa steps into the story, and things get even messier. Because let's be honest, if a man couldn't stay faithful to a woman who shared her money, her name, and her legacy with him, what makes anyone think he'd suddenly stay loyal during a short break or separation? That's not hate, it's just simple math. When Papoose started claiming that Remy was supposedly messing around with an old prison acquaintance, people were stunned. The story sounded wild, especially since they were still having conjugal visits at the time, proof that their connection hadn't completely faded. But by then, both of them had already started moving on. He was wrapped up with Claressa, and Remy was focusing her energy elsewhere. That rumor felt less like truth and more like a classic distraction move, a way to pull eyes off his own missteps. When your whole public image is built around loyalty, any rumor that threatens it hits hard. So instead of facing the truth head-on, Papoose started sharing extra details that didn't add up, details meant to stir the pot, not clear it. That wasn't transparency, it was straight-up damage control. He wanted everyone talking about Remy, not about his own choices or contradictions. For years, people saw him as Remy's knight in shining armor, the man who stood by her through everything. But once the truth started spilling out, that armor began to rust fast. Remy wasn't having it. She clapped back with receipts, proving her innocence and shutting down false claims in real time. She even shared proof of being home with her child during holidays, instantly tearing down the lies that tried to paint her as the villain. What was once a love story turned into a public chess game, only now, Remy was done playing nice. Claressa might be young, hungry, and ambitious, but she's surrounded by the wrong voices, people who hype her up instead of helping her see the truth. While the internet was still buzzing about her and Papoose, Remy came forward with another shocking revelation. A woman known as Cali Girl was also in the picture during the same time Papoose was publicly dating Claressa. The timeline doesn't lie, it shows clear overlap, exposing a messy pattern that's hard to ignore. It's like every chapter with him repeats itself, new face, same type, same chaos. Remy spent years shielding him from criticism, covering for him while he carefully built this loyal husband image that fans adored. But once his real actions started surfacing, that loyalty looked less like love and more like straight opportunism. His track record showed a man obsessed with reputation, always playing for the cameras while chaos brewed behind the scenes. And Claressa? She seems lost in that same cycle, driven by ego, validation, and the thrill of attention. She stepped into a mess that was already on fire, linking herself to a man still legally tied to another woman, while juggling her own battles and trying to reignite a career that had hit a wall. That's not confidence. That's confusion wrapped in spotlight pressure. From a psychological angle, this kind of setup can't survive. It's not built on love, it's built on branding, image management, and ego clashing with ego. Once you strip away the captions, the interviews, and the fake smiles, what's left is the raw truth. This saga was never about passion, it was about identity, power, and control. And through it all, Remy didn't grow bitter, she just stopped playing the part she once helped create. Remy finally stopped protecting the illusion. The mask came off, and once it did, everything spilled out. Years of silence, of trying to keep up a perfect image, vanished in one brutal wave of truth. She stopped defending a fantasy that no longer served her, and when she let go, The real story came crashing into the open for everyone to see. Claressa's situation now stands as a warning to anyone watching from the sidelines. Love doesn't need extra players or outside validation. Loyalty doesn't come from competing for attention, it comes from consistency and truth. A healthy relationship can't grow in secrecy, denial, or ego-driven games. When your bond depends on performance instead of honesty, it's only a matter of time before it breaks apart. Because actions always speak louder than captions, and patterns, well, they never lie. The saga of Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields isn't just gossip. It's a human story, raw and revealing. It shows how fame, ego, and image can twist reality until even the people living it can't tell what's real anymore. What looked like love turned into strategy, what felt like loyalty became control, and what the world saw as goals was really a struggle for power behind the scenes. In the end, it's not about who won or who lost, it's about what it exposed. The truth always finds its way out, no matter how long it takes. So, watch the actions, study the patterns, and remember, authenticity never needs a PR plan. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about what really goes on behind the headlines.